Mr. Chair, I rise in support of the amendment offered today by the gentleman from New York. At its core, this amendment is simple, but its impact is significant. The bill we are currently debating contains a provision that would arbitrarily limit UASI eligibility for 2012 to areas within the country deemed to be the top 10 high-risk cities. If passed as this bill would reduce the number of communities eligible for UASI grants by more than 50 cities, many of them named by my colleague from Wisconsin. Among them, the Bridgeport-Stanford metropolitan area, which includes the majority of the cities and towns in my district. I strongly support this amendment, which removes the language from the bill that illogically restricts UASI funding to just 10 cities. Since its creation in 2003, the intent of the UASI program has been to enhance regional preparedness in and around major metropolitan areas and to assist participating jurisdictions in developing integrated regional systems for prevention, protection, response, and recovery. Setting an arbitrary limit on the number of locations eligible to receive funding under this program is contrary to the intent of the program and contrary to our efforts to address the growing and evolving threats of homegrown terrorism. Moreover, this restriction is dangerous. Localities with the highest risk of being attacked are often not the locality where those attacks are being planned and can be stopped. In my district, the loss of UASI funding would completely derail a major interagency communications project. In addition, much of the counterterrorism work underway in Fairfield County has been implemented in phases. A reduction in funds at this point will effectively waste the work that has already been done. The risks to my constituents are very real. My district's proximity to New York City not only increases the likelihood of a terrorist attack, but also increases the potential that someone in our area will plan an attack with the intention of inflicting the attack on New York City. We have seen this time and time again. After local law enforcement officials from Fairfield County helped to capture Faisal Shahzad, the Times Square bomber, last year, Faisal Shahzad, who had operated in my district, it is unfathomable to think that their work would be deemed non-essential in the fight against terrorism. And just 2 weeks ago, on May 19th, a Bridgeport resident accused of making and selling pipe bombs was arrested after allegedly attempting to sell 8 of these explosive cylinders in the Bronx. While we can all agree that shared sacrifice is required to bring our federal deficit under control, I cannot support cuts to a national security program which has proven to be not just effective, but also essential to our safety. This is a time for our communities to stay vigilant. Without the proper resources, our communities cannot maintain the proper level of readiness and cannot ensure that our communities are properly secured. I strongly urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this amendment, and I yield back the balance of my time.